So where's your head at with Kour?
Honestly, I think for like the first time probably in my life, it's finally starting to change.
August 2024. Kourtney Kardashian posts what should have been innocent vacation photos. Beautiful beach scenes from Idaho, stunning shots from Italy, living her best life with Travis Barker and baby Rocky. But within hours, the comment section exploded. Not with compliments, not with vacation envy, with pregnancy speculation. Again, people convinced she's expecting another baby when Rocky isn't even a year old yet. Kourtney clapped back hard, shutting down the rumors with receipts about eating pancakes and jumping off cliffs. But while everyone focused on her response, they completely missed what was happening behind the scenes. Scott Disick saw those posts, he saw the comments, he saw the speculation. And sources say he's absolutely furious. Not about what you think, though. This goes way deeper than pregnancy rumors. Here's what nobody's talking about. Every single time Kourtney posts anything, the comments flood in asking if she's pregnant. Every photo, every video, every appearance. It's relentless. And Scott is watching this happen in real time, seeing his children's mother be constantly speculated about, as if her only purpose is producing babies with Travis Barker. But here's the part that's really eating at him. These comments erase his existence completely. People act like Mason, Penelope, and Rain don't exist. Like Kourtney's only child is Rocky. Like Scott's 9 years with her and 3 children mean absolutely nothing in the grand narrative of her life. One source close to Scott revealed he's felt this way since the moment Rocky was born. Every time someone gushes about Kourtney being a mom, they're talking about Travis's baby. Every time someone praises her maternal instincts, they're referring to Rocky. His 3 kids have become footnotes in Kourtney's story, and that's what's driving Scott absolutely insane. The Italy vacation photos really set everything off. July 2024, Kourtney's posting bikini shots from Portofino looking absolutely stunning. And immediately, people started analyzing every angle. Someone claimed you could see a baby bump in the reflection of a mirror. Another person swore her face looked fuller. The speculation went wild until Kourtney had to address it directly. She explained she's still breastfeeding Rocky, eating all the Italian food, not working out, just enjoying life. Simple explanation. Case closed, right? Wrong. Scott saw that response and something clicked for him. She's still breastfeeding Rocky, who's approaching his 1st birthday. Extended breastfeeding, complete dedication, total commitment to giving Travis's baby everything. Now let's rewind to when Scott's kids were babies. Kourtney was a different person entirely. She was still partying, still traveling without them constantly, still maintaining her pre-baby lifestyle as much as possible. Don't get me wrong, she loved her kids and was a good mom. But this level of devotion, this complete transformation into uber-protective mama bear, that didn't exist with Mason, Penelope, and Rain. Sources say Scott has noticed this difference from day one, and it kills him. The Kourtney who mothers Rocky is not the Kourtney who mothered his children. She's evolved, sure. She's grown as a person, absolutely. But watching her give Travis's baby the version of herself that Scott begged for during their entire relationship feels like salt in a wound that never healed. Friends close to Scott say he's made comments about how she wasted their years together, how she had all this maternal energy and dedication inside her, but chose not to give it to their family, how she became the woman he always knew she could be, just for someone else. The transformation into what Scott jokingly called Morticia Adams, this dark romantic gothic version of Kourtney, represents everything he wanted from her. The commitment, the devotion, the all-in energy. And she's giving it all to Travis, while Scott watches from the sidelines with their 3 kids who remember a different mom. Let's talk about the Father's Day situation, because that wound is still wide open and festering. June 2023, Kourtney announces her pregnancy with Rocky at a Blink-182 concert with that iconic sign. The internet goes crazy. Beautiful moment, right? Except it happened during Father's Day weekend. And Kourtney posted her tribute to Travis as an amazing father figure, included throwback photos of her late father Robert Kardashian, and completely erased Scott from the narrative. Not a single mention, not even a story post, nothing acknowledging the man who gave her 3 children and has been co-parenting with her for over a decade. Scott was actually with Mason, Penelope, and Rain that weekend when he saw the post. Imagine that moment. You're celebrating Father's Day with your kids, feeling grateful for your role in their lives. And you check Instagram to see their mother honoring everyone except you. No text beforehand, no heads up, no private acknowledgement, just complete public exclusion while millions of people watched. Sources say Scott felt gutted, not just hurt, but genuinely betrayed. It was a jab straight to the heart that told him exactly where he stands in Kourtney's world. Nowhere. He's the father of her children, and that's where his importance ends. Everything else, all the emotional connection and history and years they spent together, means nothing now that she has Travis and Rocky. That Father's Day wound never healed. In fact, it gets picked at every time pregnancy rumors surface because it reminds Scott that Kourtney's creating this whole new family that gets all her energy, attention, and public celebration while his kids get leftovers. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What if these pregnancy rumors aren't just rumors? What if Kourtney actually is pregnant again despite her denials? Scott would be absolutely devastated. Rocky isn't even a year old, and people genuinely believe there could be another baby on the way. Think about that timeline. Scott's 3 kids are spaced out. Mason, born in 2009, Penelope in 2012, Rain in 2014, years between each one. Time for Kourtney to recover, to focus on each child individually, to build their family slowly. But with Travis, Rocky arrived in November 2023, and by August 2024, people think she's pregnant again. Whether it's true or not, the speed of this new family feels intentional to Scott. Like Kourtney is racing to build something with Travis that makes her family with Scott feel like ancient history. The kids she had in her 20s and early 30s versus the kids she's having in her mid-40s. Different chapters, different priorities, different levels of commitment. One insider revealed Scott feels like he and his children are being replaced in real time. Every Travis and Kourtney milestone, every Rocky development, every family photo pushes Scott's kids further into the background. They're becoming the older half-siblings instead of Kourtney's main children. Their narrative is shifting from Kourtney's kids to Kourtney's kids from her previous relationship. That distinction matters. That change in how they're perceived and discussed matters. And Scott is watching it happen while feeling completely powerless to stop it. Mason, Penelope, and Rain are caught in the middle of all this chaos. Mason is 15 now, fully aware of everything happening online. He sees the pregnancy speculation about his mom. He sees people commenting on her body. He sees strangers debating whether she's having another baby with Travis. And he has to navigate his feelings about all of it while maintaining relationships with both parents. Penelope is 13, at that age where social media awareness is peak and comparison is constant. She's watching her mom be super protective of baby Rocky while remembering a different dynamic when she was little. She's seeing the devoted breastfeeding updates, the health-conscious choices, the constant presence. And somewhere in her mind, she's comparing it to her own childhood and wondering why things are different now. Rain is 10, asking questions that break Scott's heart. Why does mom act different with Rocky? Why does Travis get to be in all the family photos? Why do people only talk about the new baby like we don't exist? These are real kids processing real emotions while the world watches their family dynamics play out online. Scott is trying to shield them from the worst of it, but pregnancy speculation is everywhere. Fan accounts, news outlets, comment sections, their mom's Instagram. There's no escaping it. And every time someone asks if Kourtney's pregnant again, it reinforces to these kids that Rocky is the main character in their mom's life now. They're supporting cast. The blended family dream that everyone celebrated when Kourtney and Travis got together is starting to crack under the pressure of public scrutiny and shifting priorities. Travis Barker plays a significant role in all this tension. He's incredibly protective of Kourtney, constantly posting messages about positive energy and keeping negativity away, which sounds great in theory, but sources say Travis has zero patience for Scott's feelings or perspective. Travis believes Scott had nearly a decade with Kourtney, messed it up repeatedly, and now needs to accept reality and move on. There's no sympathy there, no understanding. Just a clear message that this is Travis's family now, and Scott needs to stay in his lane. The US versus them mentality is driving a serious wedge in co-parenting dynamics. Scott feels pushed out not just by Kourtney's choices, but by Travis's territorial behavior. Every family photo that Travis posts with Kourtney and all the kids, including Mason, Penelope, and Rain, feels like a power move. Like Travis is saying, "I'm the dad now." Scott's just a biological necessity. This territorial energy makes everything harder. Custody exchanges become tense. Family events require careful navigation. The kids feel the friction even when the adults try to hide it. And Scott, who spent years working on himself and trying to maintain positive relationships with the Kardashian family, feels like Travis is deliberately making things difficult. Not through direct confrontation, but through subtle exclusions and social media messaging that establishes hierarchy. Travis and Kourtney are the primary family unit. Scott is the outside co-parent. That distinction didn't exist as strongly before, but now it's crystal clear. Let's talk about Kourtney's power moves, because they're calculated and effective. Her clapbacks to pregnancy speculation aren't just about body positivity or shutting down rumors. They're statements of independence. She's establishing loudly and clearly that she doesn't answer to anyone. Not to fans, not to media, and definitely not to Scott. Every vacation photo is a reminder that she's living her best life. Every breastfeeding update shows her commitment to Rocky. Every family moment she shares establishes her new normal. And Scott sees all of it as calculated moves designed to make him feel irrelevant. Whether that's Kourtney's intention or not doesn't matter. The impact is the same. Scott is watching the woman he spent 9 years with, the mother of his 3 children, build this picture-perfect life that has no room for him. Every post is a reminder of what he lost. Every family photo shows what could have been his if he'd gotten his act together sooner. Kourtney's transformation into this devoted, health-conscious, protective mother isn't accidental. She's worked on herself, gone to therapy, established boundaries, and created the life she wants. But for Scott, watching her become this version of herself for Travis feels like punishment. He begged for this Kourtney during their relationship. He wanted her to be all in, fully committed, ready to build a stable family life. She wasn't ready then, or maybe she wasn't ready with him specifically. Either way, she's ready now, and Scott gets to watch from the sidelines as she gives Travis everything she withheld from their relationship. Here's what's really eating at Scott, though. It's not jealousy about Travis specifically. It's grief about who Kourtney became, the healthy lifestyle choices, the devotion to family, the stability and commitment. The woman Scott always knew she could be finally emerged, just for someone else. During their relationship, Scott struggled with his own issues. He made mistakes, lots of them. He wasn't always the partner Kourtney deserved, but he stayed. He kept trying. He wanted to build something with her, and she kept him at arm's length emotionally while maintaining just enough connection that he never fully walked away. Now, she's given Travis the version of herself that Scott begged for. The all-in, no reservations, completely devoted partner. And he has to watch it happen while knowing he'll never get that from her. She evolved past him. She became someone new for someone new, and his 3 children are reminders of who she used to be, not who she is now. The regret crushes Scott daily. Friends say he's been dealing with it through therapy and trying to focus on his own growth, but you can't therapy away the pain of watching your ex-partner live out the dream life you wanted with them, just with someone else. You can't positive thinking your way through seeing your children become secondary to a new baby. You can't manifest peace when pregnancy speculation constantly reminds you that your family is expanding without you. Scott is stuck in this horrible position where he's connected to Kourtney forever through their kids, but has to watch her build a completely separate family that gets all her best qualities. The pregnancy rumors in August weren't the problem. They were just the trigger that brought all these feelings to the surface again. Every time someone speculates about Kourtney being pregnant, it reminds Scott of several painful truths. First, Rocky isn't even a year old, and people think she could be pregnant again. The speed of this family formation is wild compared to their timeline. Second, Kourtney will address pregnancy rumors publicly, but won't acknowledge Scott's role privately. She'll clap back at strangers, but couldn't give him a heads up about major announcements. Third, his 3 children see all of this. They see the speculation, they see their mom's responses, they see Travis's protective posts. and they're forming their own conclusions about where they fit in this blended family narrative. Sources say Scott reached out to Khloe again after the August vacation photos, expressing his frustration with the whole situation. Not because he wants Kourtney back romantically, but because he feels erased. His role as father to her children feels diminished every time someone asks if she's pregnant with Travis's second baby. The public perception has shifted from Kourtney, mother of 3, to Kourtney, Travis's wife, and Rocky's mom, who also has older kids from a previous relationship. That shift might seem subtle, but it's significant. It changes how people view his children. It changes how people view his importance in Kourtney's life. It changes everything. Khloe reportedly tried to offer perspective, reminding Scott that Kourtney's entitled to move on and build her life however she wants. Which is true. Kourtney doesn't owe Scott anything beyond respectful co-parenting, but that doesn't make watching it hurt any less. That doesn't make the exclusion easier to swallow. That doesn't make the comparison between how she mothers his kids versus Rocky any less painful. Khloe gets it intellectually, but even she admits the situation is complicated and messy. Kim's stance has been less sympathetic. She reportedly believes Scott needs to fully accept reality and stop dwelling on what could have been. She thinks he's holding on to pain that's preventing him from truly moving forward. And maybe she's right. Maybe Scott is stuck in this grief cycle that keeps him from finding his own happiness. But moving on is easier said than done when you share 3 children with someone and have to witness their new life constantly. It's not like he can just cut contact and never think about Kourtney again. She'll always be there. Travis will always be there. Rocky will always be there. And every milestone, every family moment, every pregnancy speculation will trigger these feelings again. The Kardashian family dynamics have gotten increasingly complicated. Kris Jenner is trying to keep everyone happy, but you can't please everyone in this situation. Supporting Kourtney's new family means potentially minimizing Scott's feelings. Supporting Scott means potentially criticizing Kourtney's choices. There's no winning move. So Kris does what she does best, maintains surface-level peace while underlying tensions simmer. The sisters are split in their sympathies. Khloe leans toward understanding Scott's perspective. Kim leans toward supporting Kourtney's right to move on. Kendall and Kylie stay relatively neutral, focused on their own lives. The family unity that once felt unshakable is showing cracks under the pressure of these complicated dynamics. Scott Disick isn't furious about pregnancy rumors in isolation. He's furious about being systematically erased from Kourtney's narrative. He's devastated watching her become the partner and mother he always wanted her to be, just for Travis. He's heartbroken seeing his children become background characters in their mom's new story. He's frustrated that despite years of working on himself and maintaining family connections, he still feels like an outsider. The pregnancy speculation in August was just another reminder of all these painful realities. Whether Kourtney is actually pregnant or not doesn't even matter at this point. The damage is done. The message is clear. Scott's chapter in Kourtney's life is closed. She's moved on completely, and he has to figure out how to make peace with watching her live the life he wanted with her, just without him. The question isn't whether Scott can move on. It's whether he can forgive himself for the mistakes that cost him everything. Whether he can watch Kourtney's happiness without it destroying his own. Whether he can support his children through this complicated family dynamic while processing his own grief. Whether he can truly accept that sometimes love isn't enough and timing matters and people change and you don't always get the ending you wanted. Scott Disick lost Kourtney Kardashian years ago, but every pregnancy rumor, every family photo, every milestone with Rocky makes him lose her all over again. And that's the real tragedy nobody's talking about while they debate baby bumps in vacation photos.